On Halloween, you need to dress for the occasion. That's as true as ever at Great Wolf Lodge's spooktacular Halloween celebration. Make sure your family packs costumes for trick-or-treating, swimsuits for the 84-degree indoor water park, and even dancing shoes for the Monster Bash dance parties. The celebration goes on all October long. Visit greatwolf.com for details on how to save up to 20% on 2 or more nights during our Halloween event. Great Wolf Lodge, everybody in.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a path. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to know, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on writer's bio for your website. Black Wolf Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit Black Wolf.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Hello, America. You're about 60 seconds away from the beginning of the America Off the Rails show. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, and it's Monday. And oh my gosh, has it been a Monday. We've got so much to talk about because, we had a short week last week because of the funeral, internet issues, and everything else. So we've got lots to catch up on, lots to talk about, but we got to get one last break out of the way before we can kick this thing into gear. So buckle your seatbelt and stay tuned.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite host.
You know this freedom is anything but free. What we have here depends on those who will fight for what they believe. When we stand together, there's nothing that we can't achieve. This nation of people standing as one in the name of liberty.
Hello, America. Welcome to America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We're coming to you live right now from KLRNradio.com, where liberty and reason still reign. All right, since I've been doing a really bad job of this lately, I want to start out by giving out the affiliates, because this show can be heard just about everywhere. All right, so we're available on AMFM247.com every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, except for today, because unfortunately, due to internet issues, I wasn't able to send them a file. Yes, I have been yelling at my internet service provider now for several days. Also available on the Lanterns Radio Network every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern, and Talk America Radio Network, the Liberty Channel, every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern, and available on crndigitaltalk.com every Saturday and Sunday at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. In other news, folks, that basically the show, if you're not sure how to find it or where to find it, it's because you're not looking, because we're also on a plethora, and yes, I said plethora, how's that for a $5 word for the day, of podcast sites. So we're available on iHeart, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FM Player, Google Play Music, Pocket Cast, Blueberry, and there's like 12 or 13 more. And more coming, apparently, because I got an email from Station Manager Ann the other day that she found even more places to put the shows. So, like I said, if you have a favorite podcast site and we haven't hit it yet, keep looking, because we're about to hit a few more. All right, so lots and lots and lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Unfortunately, I've burned up most of the monologue, so I guess we'll start with a silly question. Did you guys know that General Mills was basically a communist company? I mean, no, not like literally communist, but they support lots of things with their money that I didn't realize they supported, which makes me really kind of sad because now I'm looking at all the cereals that I eat from General Mills, or used to until I started, shopping on a budget. Malto meal is just as good, and might I suggest that you spend your money there instead, because apparently, if you look it up, General Mills does all kinds of scary things with the money that you give them for cereal. And let's face it, cereal's not as cheap as it used to be. What is it, like $15 for a box of Cheerios now? Okay, no, not really. I understand it's not really that expensive, but come on, if you're a big guy like me and you eat more than one bowl, you're probably eating about $10 of cereal a week, unless you're buying the cheaper stuff. And it's just about as good. I'm not going to say it's exactly the same, but yeah. So, just to give credit where credit is due, I actually heard this on the drive-in this morning on KOKC radio with Real Todd Tucker, and they started talking about some healthy cereal that I'm not going to touch because I'm a fat kid and I like my sugar. But anyway, we've got to take the first break, get it out of the way. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Hillary has lost her mind. Nothing new there. Jurassic-era Barbie gets heckled by dreamers. Yeah, that's right. The lady that keeps telling us that we need to do everything we can to help these dreamers basically gets yelled at and heckled, and I couldn't really help but laugh. But we'll talk about that and a lot more, because there's so many things that have gone on in the last few days since we haven't been able to do a show. But again, we're up against a break. This one's a network break, so they yell at me if I don't take that one. We will be right back here in about 60 seconds.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take it out
Everyone
to the
loves
streets.
liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org. Welcome back, America. All right, so we've got lots and lots and lots of stuff to talk about. So there's all kinds of things going around in the news today. I guess apparently Hillary Clinton's out stumping, talking about the fact that Kenya has the capability to overturn their elections, and somehow we don't. Yeah, because we all want to be more like Kenya. But here's the thing, because I seem to remember a certain candidate for president who was standing up talking about that recently. Before a debate, Donald Trump was quoted as to say that he wasn't sure if he would support the results of the election or not if he wasn't the winner. And I seem to remember a certain Democratic candidate for president. I almost said words I shouldn't say on the radio. But I seem to remember a certain Democratic presidential candidate stating that it was un-American for Donald Trump to not say whether or not he would support, or that he wouldn't support the election's results. And yet, now Hillary's side, even though they were the ones screaming and yelling that if Donald Trump won, there was going to be rioting in the streets, there was going to be people calling for revolution and all these things because conservatives are wusses and they don't have any respect for the rule of law, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Who is it that's been calling for revolution again? Who is it that's mad over the Electoral College? But now here's the funny thing. And I want you to think about this, because this was pointed out to me the other day. I would give credit where credit was due, but I honestly don't remember who said it. But I will tell you this was not something that I came up with on my own. Someone that I know pointed out to me that it was hysterical and laughable. Actually, I think it might have been Jen on the Jen and Rick show with me, not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before, because we couldn't do a show last week. But anyway, I think it might have been her, and if not, then again, if I knew who to give credit to, I definitely would. But they pointed out the laughability of the left being completely lambasted and frustrated and irritated and angry over the Electoral College situation because in their eyes it stole the election from Hillary Clinton. If it weren't for that pesky I feel like if anybody else feel like they're in a Scooby-Doo episode, if it wasn't for that pesky Electoral College, we'd have gotten away with it. Oh, and that kid and the dog over there too. But so the thing with that is, though, they're fine with superdelegates, because let's not forget who won the popular vote on the DNC side of the ticket, because it wasn't Hillary Clinton. So the next time you hear a DNC whiner talking about, well, if it wasn't for the Electoral College, Hillary Clinton would have been president. Well, if it wasn't for superdelegates, Hillary Clinton wouldn't have even been running. And the funny thing is, they will go out of their way to excuse and justify superdelegates while still lambasting the Electoral College when it's the same basic principle. There were a group of people outside of the popular vote that cast votes in favor for someone else instead of the person who had the popular vote. So in essence, the DNC actually has their own version of the Electoral College to bring about the candidate of their choosing, but they don't like it when the Electoral College doesn't wind up giving them the candidate they chose. Now, let that sink in for just a second. And yes, I said it that way on purpose because it really is just about that simple. So, and that's silly as well. So let that sink in for just a moment. These same people that are angry about the Electoral College will turn a blind eye, will make excuses, will do mental backflips, mental gymnastics, whatever it takes to justify the superdelegates on the DNC side of the ticket. But they can't seem to understand that the popular vote doesn't amount to a hill of beans when it comes to a presidential election. Why am I bringing this up again, you might ask? Because I just saw this again the other night. I'm making my rounds through Twitter, as I always do. We're going through social media, trying to figure out what everybody else is talking about, getting a pulse for what's going on. Then I'm going through looking for articles and everything else through the sources that I use to get the shows ready. And I see somebody talking about the fact that if not for the Electoral College, Hillary Clinton would have been president because she won the popular vote by 3 million more people. So my response was, if it weren't for the superdelegates, Crazy Uncle Speedo would have been your candidate. But he wasn't because of superdelegates. So how can you be okay with one and not the other? Because I'm okay with the Electoral College because it makes sense to me. I'm not okay with the superdelegates because it doesn't make sense to me. But if you're okay with superdelegates, but you're not okay with the Electoral College, that really doesn't make any sense on your side of the argument, because my side doesn't have superdelegates. We've never done anything at the primary phase to rip the vote away from the people. That is exactly what happened between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. And now we have Hillary Clinton, who is taking a victory lap, even though she's a two-time loser. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Yes, Hillary Clinton is now a two-time loser when it comes to running for president. Yet somehow the wife of the Crypt Keeper is planning on apparently possibly making a run for 2020. What is really funny is listening to all of the talking heads on the left basically groan anytime she pops her head up again. They're like, can you just please retire? And then all of the hashtag resistance crowd are like, how dare you tell Hillary Clinton to retire? She's still a very successful woman. She's done this. She's done that. And how dare you tell her she shouldn't have written a book? Well, I'll tell her she shouldn't have written a book. What are you going to tell people about? How to lose an election twice? I don't know very many people that want to buy books from two-time losers, but hey, apparently you have a fan base that was willing to pay you $1,200 to sign your own book and talk to you for 12 seconds, even though you showed up an hour late for the book signing. Now, granted, it was in New York. I mean, what else do you expect to find in New York? And they were touting the crowds and talking about how many people were lined up and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, dude, it's New York. What did you expect? they adopted her as soon as she, even though a lot of people fought tooth and nail for her to become their senator, they still adopted her once she managed to get there. So of course they're going to come out well for their anointed one. Because they're still in the hashtag resistance phase, because as far as they're concerned, this election should have never happened. Now, the thing, again, that I like to remind these folks, and we'll touch on this a little bit when we get back, is, this was the election that Hillary Clinton wanted. This was the matchup that she wanted, because she knew that she could beat Donald Trump. She knew it in her bones she could beat him, and she didn't. Even I thought she was going to be able to beat him, because let's face it, he wasn't my first choice. He wasn't my 30th choice out of the number of candidates we had on the right, but he's still POTUS, and we'll talk about that more when we get back, because it's time to put a foot down, in my opinion.
Don't know what you've been asking for. This means war. Lock 'em up, knock 'em down. This means
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods in your faces.
Welcome back, welcome back. All right, so where were we before we went to break? I hate sometimes when a break sneaks up on me, because I always lose my train of thought when I'm on break, because I start going through social media and email and everything else, seeing if I'm getting anything from anybody. We also have a new feature starting on Thursday nights. We're actually going to start doing Mailbag of Hate, because I do get a lot of hate mail. Not necessarily trying to steal anything from Dana, because I just actually started listening to her show recently, and I didn't realize she was already doing it, so I'm really not trying to steal her idea. I just had kind of had a concept already for it. And let's face it, lots of shows do mailbag, so I'm really jacking anything. But at the same time, it's just something new, a way to try to get some feedback from some folks. Maybe makes fun of some folks that don't seem to like me very much. Sadly, that list seems to be growing. Speaking of which, for those of you following along on Twitter, or if you have Twitter, feel free to follow along at AOTR_host. Apparently, I've made a lot of people mad today. I have dropped net loss so far of 27 in the last 12 hours. I think it might have been an exchange that I had with someone on social media who actually had a handle that made me believe that they were, because I don't remember their @ but their actual handle before the @ was Texas Girl. But she kept using the word mate, like the Australian word mate. So anyway, somehow I got tangled up in a thread with her, and it was one of the ones where they were talking about the fact that now all of a sudden, it reminds me of that poem. Do you remember the poem, first they came for the Jews, but I wasn't a Jew, so I didn't say anything, and then so on and so forth. First they came for the Confederate statues, and I didn't say anything because I agreed with them with Confederate statues, which I did say something because I don't. But, just to keep the poem idea going. Now, all of a sudden, they're attacking every other statue they can think of. The statue of Francis Scott Key was in a town here in America, was actually vandalized, and they spray painted racist anthem all over it, blah, blah, blah. Thomas Jefferson's, one of Thomas Jefferson's memorial statues has been attacked because apparently he was, horrible, terrible, no good, very bad person. But, but the thing with that is it's exactly what I said was going to happen. And people looked at me like I was crazy months ago when they first started talking about this and how they were going to try to bring light back to things that had happened in history by protesting about these statues being placed and all of these Confederate names and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I said, but what happens when they run out of those? Or what happens when it's not good enough anymore? Because there's an underlying current here, folks. This doesn't have anything to do with the Civil War. It doesn't have anything to do with slavery. There are people that got sucked into it because there are a lot of people that have a single issue mindset. So for some people, that's what they got drew into it for. Because, by God, my ancestors were slaves, and as far as I'm concerned, this country owes me something, and I'm going to go protest till they give me what I want. So there were people that were sucked in by that. There were other people that were actually paid to protest by George Soros. That has already been established. We know this to be true. They pass those things out all around the D.C. area, all day, every day. If you look, granted, for the D.C. area it isn't much, but those people can make in a week what I make for protesting. Sometimes more. Let that sink in for a second. But, again, we knew this was going to happen. This doesn't have a damn thing to do with slavery. It has to do with the fact that we have a group of people that are communist, socialist, statists that think that the only way to fix America is to tear it apart and rebuild it in their image. So what they are trying to do is attack everything about its founding. Attack everything that has ever happened. Attack every person that was a founder. Attack every instance in history and point out how bad it was and how terrible it was. And they've been doing this for a very long time. And we've been letting them do it and letting them do it and letting them do it. And now, all of a sudden, they're ramping it up like it's all on hyperspeed right now. There were 4 or 5 different stories that came out over the weekend about different statues that had been vandalized that didn't have anything to do with the Civil War. They had to do with our founding. They had to do with our anthem. They had to do with basically celebrations of what it is to be an American and what it means to be in a country that allows you freedom. These people don't want freedom. They despise freedom. So what they want to do is make you doubt everything about how this country was founded, who founded it, why it was founded, so they can take it apart and put it back together in their image. And this is what I've been trying to tell people now for months, and nobody wanted to listen to me. I'm getting kind of used to that, because I said the same thing about Donald Trump. Now, granted, he is president, and it is time to accept the results of him being president, and we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get back from the break, because that's actually what I was going to talk about on the last break, and I got sidetracked. But we'll talk about that when we get back. But at the same time, we need to focus on these groups that are already here in this country, and they're trying to tear it apart and rebuild in their image. So when we come back, we'll talk about what it is that we should do as far as moving on, acceptance, understanding Donald Trump is president, and more along those lines. And then, as far as, the people that are here and the things that they are trying to do to tear the country apart, we have some information about that, and it does center around DACA. So those are all things coming up on this particular episode of America Off the Rails. We've got to take the bottom of the hour break. Stay tuned.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods in no faces.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods in no faces. We'll take it out to the streets. That's where we
Welcome back, America. I can't believe we're already over halfway through the show. I don't know, maybe it's because we haven't done one in a few days, but it just seems like it's really flying by. I had so much to talk about tonight, and I'm not sure I'm even going to get through half of it. All right, so before we went to break, we were talking about what we should do as far as, well, mainly to combat folks like Hillary Clinton that are still wanting to go take a flying leap off a ledge somewhere because she's not the president. And Hillary supporters that are the same way, and, the hashtag resist we much and resistance and blah, blah, blah. Look, the simple fact of the matter is it's time to stop the crap. He's president. I didn't necessarily want him to be president either. There are things that he's done that I absolutely do not agree with. There are things that have happened since he's been elected that I'm sitting here and I'm scratching my head among all of the Republicans going, look, you guys had 7 years to get ready for this stuff. You haven't done any of it yet. I want to know why we still have the Affordable Care Act, or the Abominable Care Act, as I used to call it. I want to know why it is that we're still not dealing with tax reform. I want to know why DACA is now taking center stage, and instead of actually doing something about it, we're kicking it back down to Congress. Look, I get it. Legally, it should go to Congress in the first place. But I have problems with DACA. But that doesn't mean that it's not time to move on. If you, as someone who was one of the people that were laughing and pointing and jeering when Hillary Clinton said, it would be un-American if Donald Trump refuses to accept the results of this election if he is not president. And yeah, that stupid Republicans never can accept anything. They're a bunch of losers. We weren't the ones going out and needing safe spaces and taking time off from class and coloring pages and pajama days and pizza parties and, seriously, come on. It was bad enough in the beginning, but we're almost a year into this at this point, and you people are still acting like kindergarteners. He is president. If you don't like the fact that he's president, quit whining about it, pick a new candidate, and push. Because I gotta tell you, right now the Democratic Party is a joke and a half. Or maybe even just a half a joke. I wouldn't even necessarily give them a joke and a half at this point. I mean, they are half a joke. There's not even a punchline at this point, other than me just sitting here pointing and laughing, because it is hysterical to watch you guys falling apart, and you don't even realize what's going on. I mean, that's like the tweet that I was involved in earlier, where a leftist actually got mad at me because I said something about communists and statists not liking freedom and wanting to undo everything the country stood for. And she replied and said, well, it's funny how you mentioned leftists when Donald Trump is the one that's in bed with Putin. I never used the word leftist. I said communist and statist. You drew your own inference. So if it's not my fault if I use the word communist and statist, and you automatically drew the conclusion that those are people on the left, and you are someone on the left, you need to go fix your own house if you got a problem with that. Because that ain't my problem. Plain and simple. That doesn't have anything to do with me. And I didn't say those words. You did. But that's the biggest thing. These people have no concept of anything other than to complain. I mean, we're watching in Missouri, and it happened over the weekend, and I heard about it when I was coming home from the funeral. There was a verdict that has everybody upset again, and everybody's protesting again, because apparently a white cop did something that everybody else thinks is terrible, even though the grand jury couldn't find enough evidence to move forward. Now they're protesting and breaking things and breaking windows. Now, the one thing I will tell you is a little bit different under this administration so far is at least they're making arrests when people do stupid crap. Instead of letting it go on for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2 to 3 weeks straight, once a year in a town near you. I mean, it was like once a year there was a town burning in this country for the last 8 years. And now we seem to see this pattern starting again because people are upset. But let's think about why they're actually upset. They're buying into the crap from the media. Donald Trump was selected, not elected. That's not true. I didn't like the fact that he was elected. I'll be the first one to tell you I did not vote for him. I actually changed my entire party registration because I didn't want to pull the lever for that man. But you cannot say that he was selected, not elected, because of the Electoral College. But Rick, the Russians. Well, there's all kinds of things coming out about that right now that we will probably talk about some tomorrow once I have a chance to vet the things that I'm seeing suddenly start flying across the wires. But apparently, and I say apparently because if it's not true, I will go over it with you tomorrow in greater detail, but apparently there are now stories coming out that, weeks ago, months ago, when Donald Trump was throwing a fit about apparent wiretapping, he may or may not have been accurate when he said so. And that has recently started coming out. I'm looking to see if I can, at this point I found multiple sources, none of which I actually trust that much. So I'm still digging around, which is why we're only touching on it tonight and kind of giving it a teaser for tomorrow night. Because if this is true, this will turn everything the Democrats have been saying for the last 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, almost 12 months on its head. Actually, I think we're rounding the corner to 12 months. Because I think by now they had already started the Russian narrative. Because they could start to see the poll numbers dipping. But again, not to backtrack for a second, but this was the dog Hillary Clinton wanted in this fight. She knew she could beat Donald Trump, and she couldn't pull it off. So now the two-time loser is going around on a victory tour, selling off a book at $1,200 a signing. God knows how much for the book that people are actually buying. And then they're paying her $1,200 to sign them. Am I the only one that just thinks that is absolutely positively insane? Alright, so when we come back, we're rounding the corner towards home, so we got to move on to the next couple of segments. We got stuff going on with the Dreamers, and we're going to get into some detail about one of the reasons why I have an issue with the Dreamers, and then the funny thing that happened to Jurassic-era Barbie today while trying to talk to some Dreamers. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, back in about 120 seconds.
So tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. To the streets, that's where we can meet. You bring your sticks, I'll bring gauges. Just don't know what you've been asking for. This means war.
All right, folks, this is Rick Robinson. Welcome back to America Off the Rails. I know we were going to talk a little bit about Jurassic-era Barbie. Unfortunately, I got to call an audible because that's right, we just got confirmation on something. All right, so as we've been talking about a little bit or flirting with a little bit tonight, apparently there's a new report out through CNN that there was actually wiretapped. So now the assertion becomes, was this person wiretapped? And if they were, what's the likelihood that Donald Trump was never picked up on this wiretap while he was still in Trump Tower? So let's look into this a little bit. This actually comes from CNN Politics. So at this point, I mean, if they're saying it, considering they were the ones talking about how improbable it was at this point, I'm going to have to count it. I'm going to have to count it among facts. So U.S. investigators wiretapped former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort under secret orders before and after the election, sources tell CNN, an extraordinary step involving a high-ranking campaign official now at the center of the Russia meddling probe. The government snooping continued into early this year, including a period when Manafort was known to talk to President Donald Trump. Some of the intelligence collected during communications has sparked concerns among investigations that Manafort had encouraged the Russians to help with the campaign, according to three sources familiar with the investigation. Two of these sources, however, cautioned that the evidence was not conclusive. Special counsel, wow. Get paid to talk for a living, can't seem to read from a page. Special counsel Robert Mueller's team, which is leading the investigation into Russia's involvement in the election, has been provided details of these communications. A secret order authorized by the court that handles, well, just to make it easy, it's the FISA court, began after Manafort became the subject of an FBI investigation that began in 2014. It's centered on work done by a group of Washington consulting firm for Ukraine's former ruling party, the sources told CNN. The surveillance was discontinued at some point last year for lack of evidence, according to one of the sources. The FBI then restarted the surveillance after obtaining a new FISA warrant that extended at least into early this year. So why, if it was discontinued, was the FISA warrant suddenly extended? And who gave the order to extend? I'll give you I'll give you one guess. The first two don't count. Pretty sure he used to sit behind the Resolute desk. The FBI then restarted the... Well, actually, hang on, I read that part. Sources say the second warrant was part of the FBI's efforts to investigate ties between Trump campaign associates and suspected Russian operatives. Such warrants require the approval of top Justice Department and FBI officials, and the FBI must provide the court with information showing suspicion that the subject of the warrant may be acting as an agent of a foreign power. It is unclear when the new warrant started. The FBI interest deepened last fall because of intercepted communications between Manafort and suspected Russian operatives and among the Russians themselves. That reignited their interest in Manafort, the sources told CNN. As part of the FISA warrant, CNN has learned that earlier this year, the FBI conducted a search of a storage facility belonging to Manafort. It's not known what they found. The conversations between Manafort and Trump continued after the president took office, long after the FBI investigation into Manafort was publicly known. The sources told CNN they went on until lawyers for the president and Manafort insisted they stop, according to the sources. It's unclear whether Trump himself was picked up on the surveillance. Are you kidding me? It's unclear whether Trump himself was picked up on the surveillance? That's CNN's way of saving face. He was a high-ranking part of the Trump transition team, and you're telling me you're not sure if Trump was picked up? You guys are liars. Liars. You have lied to our faces. This is part of the problem that I have right now, because I keep catching the administration doing things that I can't stand, and then the media comes out and says, hold them a beer. I don't understand what is going on right now, because this means, and actually, even though we need to take a break, I'm going to go a little bit long on this segment. This one actually belongs to me, so they can chill for a second. This I actually found thanks to a group that I'm in, and I'm going to go into some of this because I want to give credit where credit is due. I actually got this from Ben Donaldson. Or no, I'm sorry, Ben Domenech. I don't know why I said Donaldson. Give me just a second here. He has a whole list of questions that I have too, now that we know this has come out. Question 1, when exactly was Manafort wiretapped by government? Which dates? Question 2, did the wiretap cease when he became Trump's campaign chairman, or did it continue? Question 3, was wiretap going before he had any official affiliation with the campaign, during which he talked regularly with Trump in Trump Tower? Given that it is conceivably possible Trump himself was never picked up by the wiretap, I still don't believe that one. Number 5, when was the wiretap renewed, on whose orders, and what justification was involved? Number 6, if the evidence caught by a wiretap was indeed not conclusive, as two sources tell CNN, why was the wiretap renewed? Was there New evidence. Number 7, investigation was focused on Ukraine election when Podesta Group was working with Manafort. Were they included any wiretaps in 2016? Number 8, investigation discontinued for lack of evidence, but FBI restarted surveillance after obtaining new FISA warrant. On what basis? Number 9, was there anything that changed in the intervening time other than the role Manafort played with the Trump campaign in 2016? Number 10, it is unclear whether Trump himself was picked up on the surveillance. How was he not? See, my point exactly. If the two talked by phone frequently. Number 11, why did Sessions say there was no basis for a claim when it seems clear that someone within Trump Tower was wiretapped? Did he not know? Number 12, why are we only learning about this now? What is the reason behind this leak? Who benefits? So again, we're sitting here, and we've been spoon-fed all of this crap for months about how Donald Trump colluded with the Russians, and it's all the Russians' fault, and Donald Trump wouldn't have been elected if not for the Russians. But every time the Democrats go on a side punt, it blows up in their faces. Alright, so at this point, I really do need to take the last break, because I'm severely long. Actually, oddly enough, I'm just about right where I'm supposed to be. I thought I was longer on than that. We may still have time to touch on Jurassic Era Barbie when we... getting heckled, not touch. When we come back here in about 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take it out to the streets. That's where we can meet. You bring your sticks, I'll bring gauges.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take it out to the streets.
welcome back, folks. Well, we're just about out of time, so since we didn't get a chance to get to it tonight, I'm going to have to tell you more about why I have an issue with the DACA reform tomorrow, but we'll do that on tomorrow night's show. Before, though, since it's actually one of the things I listen to the show, we better take a few minutes to get to that. So Jurassic Era Barbie today actually gave a talk in front of some Dreamers, and she started getting heckled today. People were screaming, disband ICE, close down ICE, let us stay, yada, yada, yada. It was just, I don't know. A good time was had by all. Give me just a second. Let's get it pulled up because I have it here someplace. Actually, hang on. I think we may have some audio, so hang on just a second. I'm just trying to figure out if I can get it to play.
Okay, you cut off the Dreamers who are here to speak.
Okay, so there you have it. There's some audio of Nancy Pelosi being confronted and actually heckled by some undocumented youth yelling things like shut down ICE and we're undocumented youth and we're not going anywhere. This is one of the reasons why I have an issue with DACA. I guess maybe I'm going to have time to get to this at least a little bit tonight anyway, but we will tease it and get into more detail tomorrow. There is a crazy number of Muslims that we know have come into this country under the DACA Act, and I have an issue with that. I have an issue with that because I've spent quite a bit of time reading through information provided by UnderstandingTheThreat.com. It is a group that has actually gone undercover in a lot of places like CARE and a few other places that people just kind of, it's just the Council for American Islamic Relations, Rick, what are you... No, really, it's not. You should do some research. But we have a certain number, and I'm not going to give out the number tonight, because, again, this is kind of turning into a tease for tomorrow night's show. But you'll need to tune in for tomorrow night, live right here on KLRNradio.com, where we will talk about the fact that we know at this point the number of Muslims that have come into the country under DACA. And my question is, what are we going to do? Because everybody says, well, Rick, you have to have a heart. You have to realize that these people are here. They came in, most of them that are here, they didn't have a choice. Their parents brought them here. But again, most of them are adults now. So my question is, what are they going to do now? They are adults. What are they going to do to make their lives better, to make sure that they can actually be a productive member of our society and do whatever it is that they need to do to actually become a member of our society? An actual member, not a spectator. I'm talking somebody with a social security number. And are we going to jump them in line with everybody else? Or in front of everybody else, because I don't think that we should. All right, so we are officially out of time for tonight, folks. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back with you tomorrow night before you know it. I want to take just a moment, and I know I really shouldn't because we are officially out of time, but I want to say thank you to everybody who takes the time to tune in and listen. It doesn't matter to me whether you choose to listen live, Memorex podcast, however you choose to listen, even if it's through one of the other affiliates. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend it with yours truly. This is Rick Robinson. We are out. Peace.
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.